Monty Python memes, of all things, are finding their way back into the meme culture on today's episode. Everybody knows to stay away from the rabbit, and yet nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. These memes and more on today's episode of the SumitoMedia Show. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the SumitoMedia Show, the only comedy talk show worth watching every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. How are you? Remember to hit that subscribe button, because if you do, we'll actually be able to afford real horses rather than clapping these two coconut halves together. Let's get into the memes. How do I even begin to describe Monty Python? By today's standards, they're not exactly the funniest things. I mean, they did have some of the original traits that would become memes later on as the internet became more prevalent.
Who are you?
We are the knights who say... Ni.
No, not the knights who say ni.
The same.
Monty Python was like the first series of comedy that questioned what we normally find humorous. They were the first ones to poke fun of Christianity. They were the first ones to have random stuff happen in the movies and everybody found them hilarious. This was like a Saturday Night Live was just starting. Like, random satirical humor wasn't really a thing, and then out of nowhere, boom, these British guys knock it out of the park. Kind of. There's a lot of dead space between the movies. Quick story time. Cut to 10 years ago. I'm in like the 7th grade in history class, and out of the corner of my eye, a new challenger approaches. The new girl. First day of school, she's got a hat on backwards. I decide to step over and go, "Hey, I forgot a pencil. Can I borrow a pencil?" And she goes, "Sure." We get to chatting. Turns out she takes the same bus home that I do. Using every ounce of swagger I owned in myself at the moment, I went, "Oh, you also take that bus? That's wild. I take that bus. Do you sit anybody with the bus? Do you sit on the bus? Do you drive the bus?" She goes, "Oh, you take the same bus that I do? You should come over. I'm new, and my parents wanted me to make friends." And I was like, hell yes. Here's an opportunity for me to show off my Pokemon collection. I am not turning this down. Upon arriving at her house, disappointed as I was that she wasn't actually interested in my Pokemon collection, we ended up watching a bunch of the Monty Python movies back to back. It was actually kind of cool. I didn't know girls could be funny, and I didn't realize that I appreciated sketch comedy and British humor as much as I did. Very, very formative experience for me, I would say. She ended up moving to Korea the year after that, so nothing really came between the two of us, but I hear that she's married and has a kid now, and I'm hosting a meme show on YouTube, so I think we all know who won there. Anyway, the reason that I tell you all of this is because I think that's how most people remember these movies. They watched them when they were super young, sort of developed everybody's sort of ironic, random, satirical, sarcastic sense of humor that we all have now between that, Family Guy, Saturday Night Live, and Mad TV.
He made her watch the other 178 hours of Monty Python stuff that isn't funny or memorable.
I have a pet hedgehog named Zippy, and I shall walk her to town. And each time my foot hits the ground, I shall say boing, boing, boing.
I'm a girl! I don't even like the good Monty Python sketches.
And while you probably couldn't pay me to watch one of the Monty Python movies front to back at this age, I still hold them up with a lot of respect because, I mean, they did sort of set the standard for what we find humorous. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the best movies, some of the best memes to come from the Monty Python movies. First and foremost, from Monty Python's Flying Circus, we've got Nobody Expects the Spanish Inquisition. I could try to explain it to you, but let me just show you the clip.
One of the crossbeams has gone out askew on the treadle.
What on earth does that mean?
I don't know. Mr. Wentworth just told me to come in here and say that there was trouble at the mill, that's all. I didn't expect a kind of Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapon is surprise.
Now I know what you're thinking, Sumito. That's not funny at all. And you're right. It's only sort of humorous, but again, this is back in 1969. People didn't know what was funny back then. Kanye West hadn't made a song yet. And yet, this is what humor was, and people will continue to meme this as life goes on. So let's take a look at some of those. Ah, the classic. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. What is that on a pencil case? Take it to your Spanish class. I'm sure your teacher won't get the reference because she's got better things to watch. Be me. Be living in a small rural town, a few rich people too. One of them is my neighbor, is a doctor and also owns a small motel called the Spanish Inn. I feel like I already know where this is going. Fast forward to last year, the inn burns down. Oh no. Doctor and his wife file for insurance. Insurance inspector shows up working with police. They find evidence that it was arson. Persecution pulls all the stops. Mid-testimony, his wife breaks in, cries in court, tells everyone it was insurance fraud because the inn was falling apart and the doc wanted money. And that's when it hits me. Nobody expects the Spanish Inn physician. Oh, was it worth it? Next up, from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, probably the only one of the movies you've heard of if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have the Black Knight, one of the worst swordsmen I've ever met, but hey, let's call it a draw.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then? Victory is mine. We thank thee, Lord, that in thy mercy...
Come on, then.
What? Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Yes, I have.
Look!
It's just a flesh wound. All right. We'll call it a draw.
The Black Knight's quotes as he's having his limbs chopped off of his body, "'Tis merely a flesh wound and I've had worse." These quotes are found all over different video games. Next time you play World of Warcraft, Witcher 2, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, keep your eyes out for some of these quotes. It still won't be funny, but you'll feel kind of smart. I heard fat dudes go to bed early so they can hurry up and eat breakfast. 3:30 in the morning for me, sweethearts. You're going to need to go back to Who Told You That and tell them to go rewatch the Monty Python movies. Also, smash the like button. Just to round it out and make sure I use a meme from all three of the big movies, here's a clip from the life of Brian known as Biggus Dickus. Remember, this is back before dick jokes were as good as they are now.
I think it's a joke, sir. Like, Siliosaurus or Biggus Dickus, sir.
What's funny about Biggus Dickus?
Well, it's a joke name, sir.
I have a very great friend in Rome called Biggus Dickus. Silence! Wait till Biggus Dickus hears of this. Wait! Take him away! Biggus. Dickus.
Nah, again, it's just an ancient dick joke. You know, we didn't have the quality of humor that we get from Reddit or ifunny.com. I'm joking. Don't unsubscribe. I'm joking. Jesus. Wait till Biggus Dickus hears of this. Listen, I'm not going to take too much more time covering any of the memes from Monty Python, especially the rabbit meme, although it is one of my favorites. Go watch the movies. It's if you haven't seen them, it's not a terrible waste of your time. You'll probably get a bunch of references that people have been joking about that you never understood, and I mean, maybe it'll add some culture to your terrible, terrible humor. Speaking of lacking any sort of culture and having a terrible sense of humor, it's time for Make That Meme, the point in the show where I give you a template and you give me the caption. Let's take a look at your best examples from last video. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that I picked a furry template for some reason. That's kind of weird. FBI and Hentai Haven. No, please don't touch. Get away. They caught up to him though, so. Me, furries. Little on the head, but I mean, can't blame you. Innocuous sharing his religious beliefs, SumitoMedia subscribers. Is putting cereal on pizza really a religious belief? People who want Waluigi and Smash? Sakurai. Damn it, Masahiro, just give us the person we want in our game. Being one with society, making friends, and potentially getting a girlfriend. Anime, memes, and hardcore hentai addiction. What are you gonna do? My relative searching pee into my search bar. Me. Hey guys, I'm just gonna leave the room real quick. Please don't ground me. Joe Rogan's podcast guest? Hey man, that's crazy. You ever done DMT? Sumito pronouncing his name Sumeto and not Sumito. Me. Sumito just sounds wrong. Sumeto rolls off the tongue. It's not a real name anyway. Who cares? I'll pronounce it how I want. All in all, solid memes. I'm never going to say otherwise because I just love when you guys make memes. But can you keep it up? Here's next video's template. What's scaring Patrick? You tell me down in the comments below using hashtag MTMWeeWoo, and I'll pick my favorite examples and stick them in next video. Good luck. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Shout out to Squirrel Mario 247 for being the MVC, that's most valuable comment, and thank you for making it all the way to the end of an episode of the Sumito Media Show. I know today's episode was more commentary and less memes. I don't know if you liked that or hated it, but I wanted to give it a go. Plus, Monty Python holds a special place in my heart. I wanted to make sure I gave it good representation to the best of my ability. It probably still sucked, but nonetheless, I appreciate you watching it. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want to leave a like, it helps me out a ton. But otherwise, I've got nothing more to say. Catch you guys in Monday's video. Peace.